Nine, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Dang, 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 dang. Blasting, shooting. All right, good times. Thanks for everyone joining the show. We've got a panel full of people. We've got people jumping in on the side chat, so we're going to take a few minutes as people load in on the show. Just a full show to talk about all kinds of stuff to help your streaming as much as possible. Let's see, how is everybody on the panel today? I've got Blue to my left. Thanks for joining us. She's going to we're going to come back and we're bringing back Blue's Corner. Is made its triumphant return to Streaming Matters to talk about that. So we got that. We got Narcissist, who is on the far side down there to my left. Nice. Thanks for joining us, Nar.
Good evening.
Nice to see you. So anybody that's familiar in the community will know him from his repository, Asgard 4K, numerous other add-ons. So I've got him on the show. We've also down in the bottom, I've got Ezraman. Thank you for joining us, Ezraman. A long-time member in the community. He's been around a long time, and not to say that you're old.
Thank you.
Yeah, but he's again another guy that has been around repositories, builds, add-ons, been around doing a lot of stuff, even if you didn't know that it was him. So thank you for joining the show. We also have DJ, who is a themer, and I have had him on the show numerous times and even done videos to be able to look at some of the themes that he creates, which are masters of work. Thank you for joining us, DJ.
Thank you very much for having me, and hello to everybody else on the panel, and hello to everybody out there.
Yeah, thank you for everyone.
Go
And yeah, we're also going to be getting C-Man will be here. He was on, but he had to run to the store, and we're hoping that he's not out of breath when he runs back. So he'll be here in a little bit. Today's topics, we're going to talk with Blue. We're going to have her talk about Plex. She's got some new stuff with Plex. We also are going to talk about the Q Continuum add-on. We're going to talk about that. We're going to have DJ talk about his new theme.
Absolutely, you got it right.
Yeah, I'm trying. I had to. Hey, I haven't started drinking hardly yet, so we're okay. Then we also have. We're going to talk about sports. We're also talking about the crew sports that has made it to K19. I did a video on that. We'll talk about that. Also, welcome you. Any of you guys that have questions, post them over there. And if I don't catch your question when I first see it, I will do my best. Maybe one of my guests will catch it and say, "Dad, so and so had a question." So we'll get started. My lovely bride would like to start first because she knows that sometimes I get a little bit long-winded and
Can you read the little thingy though in the private chat in here first?
Oh, and I have to also, yes, thank you, my dear. Hold on a second. I think. All right, hold on, test. All right, Ezraman, when you have to talk, go ahead and unmute yourself because I was hearing myself echo, so that's where I caught that. Thanks. I want to say hi to Julie, who's a first-time watcher, and we need to have like a first-time thing, you know. I don't know. We got to come up. You ever listen to some radio shows and they say first-time caller and they do something funny? We'll have to come up with something. But hey, Julie, thanks for watching the show. Hopefully you learned some stuff about streaming and. Well, because we don't talk just about Cody stuff, we'll also talk about Plex and add-ons or different APKs. We try to cover all that as well as maybe some networking things. So, and thanks for joining us, Julie, as well as Steve, who's over there. Miss Blue, You want to go ahead and get cranking with your new stuff on Plex?
Sure. I'm just going to share my screen here. Hopefully I do this right.
And people did like our picture that we have up there for today. That was
That's wonderful.
they did like that picture.
Yeah, I'm sharing. I don't know if you can blow me up or
How about that?
I don't know. Is it working? I can't
Yep.
tell. I'm on my shared screen.
Yep.
Okay, so you kind of caught me off guard about, I guess it was about 2 weeks ago when you said that you're like, okay, new Plex update out and what's new in it? And I'm like, I don't really know. I know that the continue watching changed a little bit. So what I wanted to do is just go through 4 little things. I'm planning on making a series of videos on this because now that I kind of got watching and checking out Plex again, I found a bunch of stuff that I didn't know that you could do with it. And some of it's a little older, but most of it is in the newer versions or whatever. Okay, so first of all, the first thing I wanted to talk about is continue watching. So if you have Plex, you know that at the very top of the screen always, if you have a new server, you will not see this. The second you start watching something, this will pop up, continue watching. Now, in the old days, what happened is you would have a continue watching for your movies category. You would have a continue watching for your TVs category. There would be 2 separate, basically, thing of widgets, essentially. But what they've done now is they've combined them all together. But the thing is here, if you have these pinned, but you have more servers or whatever, and you haven't pinned them, you will not see them in continue watching. Continue watching will only show stuff that is pinned here. So in other words, if I take TV shows out, because you can see Doom Patrol, Attack on Titan, these are all TV shows. If I unpin my TV shows, your continue watching only goes down to what you still have there. And for me, it's movies. So a quick way to add something to pin it to your main screen is you would just go to more and you would navigate to wherever you want to be inside. I'm going to use my own server here. You hit the little 3 dots and then you go to pin. Now that, once again, as you can see, they all pop back up again because it's here. So any stuff that you're watching on it, whether it's your server or somebody else's server, make sure you pin it. Otherwise, you'll have to go over to more and down to that in order to find it. So that was one of the things that I found really cool, is that continue watching is now just one big banner of widgets, essentially. So the second thing that I wanted to talk to you about is that, okay, one of the cool things about this, so below continue watching, your by default recently added is what'll pop up for basically every single folder you have over here. So as you can see, movies, so it's recently added movies, and then I've recently added TV because I've got TV shows here. Now, say you're more of a TV buff and you want that further up or whatever, all you got to do is reorder them. So all you have to do to do that is click on the 3 dots again and you go to reorder. And then all you do is just slide them. So you'll notice when I slide TV up, if I slide it up, come on now, that now recently added TV shows is first and then movies is second. So this whole category of widgets is in conjunction with this. So whatever order you have this in is what order these are going to appear at on this side of the screen. Now I like movies better, so we'll go there. And then just when you're all done, you just. So that was just the second thing I wanted to show. I'm only showing 4 things today, guys, because I'm going to make a big series on them and get more in depth. So I'm kind of going quick. Now, one other of the really cool things that you can do in here too is that, okay, so right now you can see I only have recently added in movies. If you went to the movies folder, you'll notice there's continue watching, recently released, recently added, top movies with Stan Lee, that kind of stuff. You'll have a whole big row of them. But on home, you can choose any of those that you want. Now, what you have to do is you go over to your settings, and then you scroll down pretty much to the bottom to where it says Manage Libraries. You click on Libraries. And so for movies, for example, you hit Manage Recommendations. It gives you 3 categories. Now, this first one, Library Recommended, that is all the categories that you saw inside the movies folder. But if you want to add stuff to home, you have to check it off in here. So as you can see, recently added movies is in there, and seasonal is on by default. Now, the reason you didn't see a seasonal is that according to Plex, seasonal sample when December hits if you have any Christmas movies in all of your movies, they will have their own little set of widgets then for your Christmas movies. Apparently around Oscar season, if you have any Academy Award nominated or winning movies, another list, an Oscar list will populate. So I haven't delved into to see if they have a big group of, it'll let us know like at Easter, if you have Easter movies. I don't know. I'm going to look into that, but that's why right now you don't see any, because right now this time of year, I guess nothing's going on. So the cool thing about this is that you can check any of these that you want. So for this one right now, I'm just going to hit top unplayed movies. So now you'll notice when you go back out to your main screen, got recently added movies, and right underneath top unplayed movies. So this is a really good way to be able to really customize your home screen to whatever you want it to look like. So a lot more like Netflix is, but you can be specific about what you want. So
easy for you to say.
So now I'm just going to show you one more little thing that I found neat, and then I'm going to let it go. There's a lot more cool stuff, but I'm going to make videos on it. So when you hit more, I do have one more movie category on my server, and it's just animated stuff. So right now I'm going to pin that. So you'll see that when you go back to your main screen, you've got recently added movies, recently added TV shows, and recently added and animated. Now, if you, for example, don't care to have them separated, the movie categories, you can put them together. So all you have to do is you go back to your settings again and back to the libraries again. And you'll see at the bottom, it says merge recently added items. Now, it only merges liked items. So in other words, see, you can tell by the icon, movie and movie. It'll merge those two together. If I had TV shows, 70s TV shows, 90s TV shows, if I had different TV show categories, it would merge them as well. So all you do is check it. And then when you go back out, you'll see at the very bottom now, what the hell's that doing? That my animated is gone, and that's because it's just been added into here, into the recent movies. So like I said, if I had had another TV section as well, it would have combined into the recently added TVs. So instead of you having to have, like 4 things of, if you had 4 different TV categories or whatever, when it comes to recently added, it's nice to have it all in one, I find. It just streamlines it a little more. So I thought that was a couple of cool things that the new update that they did had in it. I really love the continue watching, but you got to remember that everything that comes onto this screen has to be pinned. If it's not pinned,
yeah. And the reason what we say pinned, and so some of us have numerous that we're sharing servers with each other and such.
Yeah.
So they're in the plus. So if you don't pin their server to your pins, then it's not going to show up. And that was one thing that you've learned, and I was like, oh, okay, because I have several people's servers that I can use, and I'm like, well, I'm not seeing continue when I was watching it off of your server, and so made sense.
Yeah, like let me see. Hold on one second. I think I Crips animated TV. Just trying to see. Oh, see, Claymore's here. See, so because I added it here, even though it's not on my own server, it's on somebody else's server, it still just goes into the continue watching. But it's it's got to be pinned. Otherwise, you're screwed.
Yeah, it makes it easy to keep up with that, especially with us with Plex, and people know with Plex you're sharing, and that is one of the really cool things about it. It's the share.
Yeah, you don't even have to have a server as long as you know people that like you and want to share with you.
You gotta have people that actually like you.
You don't have to have your own, exactly. So I thought those were some neat little thingies. There's quite a few more, so I'm gonna make some videos, and Todd's just gonna post them on his channel. So if you guys are interested in Plex and you want to learn how to do a couple of cool things more behind the scenes, so that's it for me.
All right. Well, thank you, babe. It's nice to have you come join us and talk about Plex, and look forward to many more. Especially once you started to look at the different things that the new options. And it's
I'm
like,
excited.
ooh, I didn't know they could do that. And
Uh-huh.
one of the things that if you have, and some of the items, and she'll mention it, some of these items you have to have the Plex pass. Am I?
Yeah. Very few of them. None of those,
Okay.
none of that stuff I just showed. You don't
Okay.
need to.
Because I know like theme music. So when people are doing theme music, if you want to have like for TV shows, when you go to a TV show, the theme music will play for it. And that has to be, that's a Plex pass thing, and really cool. And I'm wondering how much
It's weird
of
though,
that
because
jellyfin will pick up.
it's weird because I have it here, but normally it says Plex Pass required when it's something you got to tick.
Yeah.
So maybe you don't for that.
Yeah. I know that there at first I thought it was. So awesome. Thank you. And we got a few people that jumped in this over on the side chat. I'm going to say hey to everyone. Elthros, what's it? Elthros? How do I say that, honey?
I don't even know what you're looking at, babe.
Elthros is maybe time to start playing with Plex.
Eltheros?
Elthros. You have to with Plex. Yeah, you have to. It has to be downloaded somewhere, be it a cloud server or your server or a hard drive. So that's the downside of that. You can't. You're
If
not
you're going to
just
host, not if you're
well,
going to
yeah,
just use.
unless you shared, and but it's hard. You can't just say, "Hey, somebody share their server with me," because
I just
why?
shared with a guy at work.
Well,
for
yeah,
nothing.
it's
He
a guy
doesn't
at your
use.
work. Yeah, but it's a guy at your work. Somebody
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, no, friends and family, whatever. If you know anybody who has that, all you need is a player. You only need a server if you're going to host. Otherwise, you can get the app on your Android phone, and all you got to do is sign up, send them your email, they add you, and Bob's your uncle.
Yeah. Crazy Canuck, thank you for joining us. Skulls, nice to see you. Patty, nice for her to join us. I saw that Canuck Gal joined us. She's looking forward to your videos. Snakebite, thank you for joining us. Pin, who he just did another video today. He did a video on Samba the other day, and
Did one on FileZilla.
FileZilla was today. So
yeah,
check out his
I like
content.
FileZilla. It's a good program.
And Tim asking about share a server, and we said that he's like sometimes people will share a server with you, and like some of our Telegram groups, if you know when people are learning and they're setting one up, and they'll be like, okay, I'll add you to mine. But I do know that that is also a big thing in a lot of people selling subscriptions to them, and that's a little bit of a different thing. But they'll have their Plex server, then they'll sometimes sell monthly fees to them. I'm a little careful with that because they could be taken away at any moment, because if they add the wrong person, it can be pulled out from underneath them. George, thanks for joining us. I saw that. Did you see that DeBeach wrote? He said, I see she has a movie called A Man Called Ove in her recently added library. Whoever suggested that is a freaking genius.
Smart ass. He did, for those of you that don't know that.
That don't watch Player Pass. So thank you for joining it. Tafsir, thank you for joining us. We got lots of people. Octavia, thank you for joining us. Shark, thank you for joining us. Soheil, Griff, yeah, thank you for joining us. Louise. So we got lots and lots of people. Heavy Metal joined us. So having lots of people in
Griff,
here.
okay?
I saw Griff. I saw him. I was actually thinking about that. I hadn't seen him in a while. Steve, thank you for joining us. Roger. So cool to have everybody in here. I thought kind of got that going. And so we'll go to talking about we'll talk about the new Q Continuum. Did I say it right?
Q Continuum.
Q Continuum.
Just call it Q.
Q Continuum,
Q-Addon.
which is a new add-on. Just got released a couple days ago, Nar? Oh, hold on. I've muted him. I didn't mean to mute everybody.
Mark calling Orson. Coming Orson.
You're there now. I'm trying to unmute people.
Yeah, about 2 days ago.
So tell me, what is the brainchild of this? Because this is a playlist-ish add-on with having Shadow as a scraper part of it. So brainchild behind this? Who, what, why did you guys come together as a group and create this?
So it was Ezra's idea to sort of do a collaboration of different parts from different add-ons. So Similar to other add-ons in the past that have taken add-ons and sort of added their playlists in, so like Death Star, you go in Death Star, there was METV, there was, Asgard and many others. We decided to make it slightly different, so integrating parts and sections of other add-ons so it all flows as one. So it's not, you go into it and you have different add-ons within an add-on. It's supposed to be one add-on of a magnitude of all easy navigation, simple flowing, and it looks like one add-on.
And again, this is Narcissist, who was actually, if any of you guys know, had some of the add-ons. He's been part of the Asgard group, been helped with several add-ons, got his own add-on 4K. So that's who's talking there. So how many people do you have that you guys pulled in as part of this team?
6.
So so it's a group, and then you picked and choose between what items you have in there.
Yeah, we're all in a private chat, and we sort of pull in bits and bobs of what we think would work, what wouldn't work, what looks cool, what flows, what doesn't flow, and I think there's more to come from other add-ons that we've all got. I mean, one of the members has got several add-ons, and we're trying to link it all up so it's workable, rather than just flooding it all at one go.
Yeah,
it'd be too much. So we're trying to pace it and bring it all in stages.
Okay. And one of the things, there was some confusion between Continuum being an older add-on that was out years ago that was not part of the same team. There's nothing from the same team from that one to this one. These are two different add-ons, two different groups. And so that was one thing that early on that some people were confused. So that there's, just so that we put it out there, two different add-ons, two different groups. There's neither one of them. There's nothing in between the two of them. It was just happened to be a coincidence, the name, and that's about it.
Yeah. I tweeted that, Dabs. I got a message off him, and I tweeted that out, and I tried to put it plain and simple to every one of my followers, to tell them that this was nothing to do with anybody. It was just the devs involved in this particular add-on.
Yeah. Well, and that's the problem. Sometimes when you have names, let's just say Exodus, and if somebody created an Exodus, they'd be like, well, is that the same person that, so that's where some confusion could come in. So again, two different projects, completely different, not related. Let me go ahead, and I was going to show, thanks for joining us, C-Man.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
I was going to share my screen. Do you guys want to share? And then you guys may be able to highlight some of the items that are in this add-on that you feel stands out and is a little bit things that you think is cool, or if one of you guys want to share your screen, either way.
Well, I've got no idea how.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll share my screen. What's up, Nar?
I've got no idea.
Nar's hand holder down here.
I'm good. I was just waiting for Chris to wake up, then I can go away then.
I'm awake. Come on.
He's here. He's here. So I'll go ahead and share my screen, and then you can talk me through whatever you want to show or highlight, point out.
Yeah.
This is built off of the Shadow base, and then with added playlists and sections from other add-ons, correct?
Yes.
And I have added Real Grid, but I'm not going to play any movies. I'm going to not get myself in trouble. So a 4K section. And this looks like, and I may be wrong, this looks like it's from your 4K add-on if I remember the box set.
Correct.
Yeah. The only thing is it's not in gold.
It's actually not even hosted on the same server.
Oh, okay. And so are you guys going to do some add-ons do this, which is a very good idea. Hard to keep up with is the new content tab. So are you guys going to try to keep up with those tabs? Because it can be, sometimes it is nice when you click on the new content to see what's new has been added for certain add-ons.
I believe so. Click it.
I did. There you go.
I've lagged out here, then I can't see it.
Well, all right, what about C-Man? Can C-Man see it?
I can see it.
Yeah, obviously we're behind today.
Yeah, I can
Just
see
today.
it. The latest content 160421 on the TV shows.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm not trying. I'm just saying. So is that because I think that's a great idea for people that are opening an add-on, and I know that there's other add-ons that do this, and it's a great idea because sometimes it's hard to keep up with like what came out in the last week or two, and you can scan through the new content, and it's always really good to see what's new and what's what. Hey, I missed that. I didn't know that movie was out or something.
The thing I think that sometimes makes something like this work, Dabs, is like you've got 6 people, 3 from one part of the world and 3 from the other part of the world. So it's a 24-hour continuous thing.
Continuum.
Yeah, that works out well. It does give you so that there's always somebody at the helm or able to add things. And look, I mean, this movie.
I get up in the morning at my time, and then there's millions of messages in one of the groups and loads of ads, and vice versa. So there's really someone always on top of it.
I mean, you guys are on point because you got to look at this movie came out today, and you've already got the 4K version. So that's pretty quick.
Instant.
Yeah, and I mean, even like go to 2020, we're talking 119 movies in there. So a lot of content.
It's the beauty when you got a team of like say you got 6. If you got a team of people from the UK and you got a team on the US side, and well, one lots of sleep, the other ones are awake, and you are on top, and you're getting it before anyone else. The same with our lot. I'm not going to big up our lot because it's about this add-on. And
no, your guys are great.
It's about who wakes up first and who's going to grab the content first.
Yeah, I mean, but there is no lack.
You can't like C-Man could be awake. He might not be. He could be staring at his ceiling.
Shit.
He don't sleep.
I don't sleep.
No, you just plug yourself in. So you're fully electric now, aren't you? You're hybrid. You just plug yourself in for a fast charge on a C charger.
I do.
20 minutes, you're done. You're up again.
And now, see, look at that. This new content. Look, it's because it's already got. If I was looking for RD stuff, one click, it's got the movies from today. So that's in what I was gonna. One of the things. And so this is in the movie section. You need to brid for any of this content, and a lot of add-ons do this with the. They put it right at the top. Debrid is required for this section. So hopefully people don't hit you up on Telegram saying, I tried to play that movie and it won't play. Well, where did you try to play it from? I mean, tons of content here. One of the things I knew Ezraman was in this when it wasn't in this section. When I saw the old classic TV shows, I'm like, what does that remind me of? Because there's not a whole lot of people that pull this old stuff.
No. Well, I'll tell you the reason behind this, Dabs. I was watching in Nas Telegram group, and someone posted, if you remember Narcissus, someone posted a question. They wanted a show or something, and Narcissus added it into his add-on in an RD format. And I PM'd him and I says, don't people make you just, they just made me laugh. They just want everything for nothing, which is fine, because that's what it's all about. And then that's when the inspiration came to the suggestion of this add-on.
I mean, because you have like the new stuff, and then look at here, we got the outer limits. So people of my age, I remember the outer limits. I mean, I didn't see it. Of course, I didn't see it when it first aired, but I definitely saw plenty of reruns of the Twilight Zone, and I don't mean the Twilight Zone that came out in the 2000s, but the old one. And I mean, here you got that.
The old one.
Oh, Gilligan's Island. What? Nuh-uh. Oh my lordy. Okay, so I'll have to check this out later on.
I remember the original Twilight Zone.
Oh, yeah. It was great. It was a great show. Great show. I mean,
people don't do old stuff on Coda, do they?
No.
Every add-on has movies, TV shows.
Yep.
I'll tell you a great show, an old one. If you've got it, is V. Do you remember V?
Yeah.
I added
original
that.
V.
I think DJ.
It only runs for about 2 years.
I think that's in there somewhere. The 1970s one.
I think it was late 70s or maybe in the 80s. It was an old time ago. Because there was two versions of it.
That's right. There was a later one in the 90s and there was an early one.
No, it was the 80s one that I remember.
It might be in the sci-fi classic.
You used to have a character called Willie, didn't it? And I felt so sorry for him.
It was the 80s, 84.
Well, I might have deleted it because it dead linked on me.
Yeah, I remember I actually had to get that off of Debrid, and the quality wasn't great. So we have that. You guys got stand-up kids movies, box sets, Brit flicks. And one of the other cool things that I think in this, so not everybody has Debrid. I would highly suggest Debrid, but not everybody has it. And you guys have a pretty extensive non-Debrid. So who works? Do you guys work? How do you figure that out? Make it, because not easy to find everything.
We all take it in turns of whoever's first to grab something, we put it in. Some of the content in there is from what we've scraped, and other times we manually add it.
Because I mean, you already have Mortal Kombat 3 copies of it.
Yep.
So, and I mean that, like I said, that was today.
Yep.
It's basically it's all for me because I don't have Debrid, so he knows that.
He's absolutely correct. We built it around him.
Yeah.
Everything daily that we add in Debrid, we add in non-Debrid.
Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot of work to add that stuff. People have no idea how much work it goes into, especially direct links. I mean, it's very time consuming and frustrating when it goes down.
Absolutely, drives me crackers.
If no one watches it, if you add it and no one watches it, it dies.
Yep.
Yeah, it's got to have a certain amount of traffic.
That's the frustrating thing about it. People say, "Oh, can you add this for me?" Yeah, I'll add that, and they don't watch that for a week. Oh, it's not working. There you go.
Yeah.
But if you're a serial watcher, you need Debrid.
You guys have you got replays of your wrestling and, well, I should say any of your fighting, martial arts, even the Jake Paul fight here which was like last week.
Yeah, that was great.
Oh gosh, that was a circus. Any fight fans, even if you're not a fight fan, you need to watch this. The show when Triller does this, it's a circus.
Yeah.
The stuff you see, you're not going to see anywhere else. You saw Ric Flair referee a slap fight where two guys stood there face to face and slapped each other until someone kind of got knocked out. And Ric Flair was the referee for that. I mean, it was. Where are you going to see? I mean, to me, it's just a circus. It is definitely entertaining. So, but yeah, non-debrid stuff for that. So you guys got tons of non-debrid.
Yep.
Documentaries, kids section, fitness. So if I want to work out,
if
yeah, I don't want to work out.
But you're a famous YouTuber. Can't you fight Jake Paul now?
I could, but I'm scared I'd whoop his ass, and I would because
I messaged Jake Paul the other day. I said, "I'll take you on," and he's ignored me.
Mm-hmm.
He's a pussy.
Yeah, I'd take him out. I'd daze him with the worm, not my worm, but the worm. I would daze him with the worm, and as he was kind of distracted, that's when I would jump up and knock him out. Anybody that's seen
it's a snowman on top ropes.
you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about, Noah. So lots of content, as well as having the opportunity or the ability to pull from a scraper add-on, because you have Shadow as a back end on this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you have all the features, this resume watching, the last link played, one clicks, the tracked, all that stuff, and the speed of its scrapers. So you have that. You don't always have to rely on what your content you added. You can actually do the scraper part of it. Hold on.
Yeah, I mean, let's be quite clear that the Shadow base, as I call it now,
mm-hmm.
is it's phenomenal. It's awesome.
It is.
I can't fault it, you know, and everything that I've asked for so far has happened.
Yeah, he's very accommodating. The guy's created this stuff. He doesn't take like an ownership on it. You know how some people can create an add-on and they get a little bit possessive, and it's because that's just mine.
I've not noticed.
Yeah. But you know, he puts it out there. He's like, hey, you guys do what you want with this. And like you said, if there's something that wasn't working from these gen lists that were from 18, he makes accommodations and makes it play. So great features. Sports. I was going to talk about sports. Did you want to talk about how the sports works? And
well, the sports is actually by one of the other members, but there is a separate add-on for sports if you don't want the main bulk. But also, if you go into the sports and you select the option of live, it will install the plugin anyway from the repo, and it will work. And the feedback we've had so far is it's working extremely well.
Yeah, and I poked around with it, and it worked well when I was poking around at it.
Yeah, good.
And again, for people that don't are not paying for, these are free links on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday afternoon. Fine, you may find the links are running great. When it gets to be game day, pay-per-view night, whatever, these free links are very likely to become overwhelmed. That's not the fault of the people that are doing the add-on. It is the server that hosts the feed is only able to handle so much traffic, and when worldwide traffic becomes so heavy, you're going to have buffering or kicking you out. Yeah. Again, that's not has nothing to do with the team that's put this add-on in together, because it's pulling from a website, from a feed, a link. So just keep in mind, this type of stuff it can be good, but you don't want to invite all your friends over to watch the big pay-per-view and say, hey, we're all going to watch and rely on that. You know, and again, it's not knocking on the guys that work on this, because if 10,000 people are all watching that exact same feed on a free link, you have a good likelihood of it going down. So
Yeah.
So
it's
that's
come a lot further than 4 years ago. It's a lot better than it was 4 years ago.
I would agree. On the free links, I do see a lot of add-ons doing a lot better job with free links, but maybe more people are using paid subscriptions. I don't know, but I've gotten my feelings hurt and embarrassed when I had people over back in the day before I had my own subscription. I want to say I was using IP Stalker. I was using Stalker back in the day. And I think it was UFC 200, and that was quite the embarrassment.
I'll say, I'll touch wood again. In the last 3 years, I don't think I've seen any embarrassment in the last 3 years. It's like I say 4 or 5 years ago, it won't, like one day it'd be flawless. Like on Saturday night, it was flawless. You say, "Yeah, come round, it's all good," and you turn it on, it won't even load.
You got Todd. You got
Yeah.
Roger. You got Roger in the chat asking for the repo.
The repo on it. Let me see. Because I have the repo in my thing. Let me grab the link and I will post it in there. Hold on a second. I've got to go. It's in 3 different repositories. Am I correct, guys?
There's actually more if you look around, but there's 3 that we are open enough to say, if that means anything.
Yeah.
It's
So
in N's, it's in C's, it's in E's.
yeah, so I posted it over here. Those are in the 3 repos that I know of, or that they posted. That it's, I don't want to say officially. You say officially, officially in. And most people have builds. So let me ask this question, and I was sent this question for builders. So someone that has a build, would you suggest them? I know that I saw some of Asgard. I saw some of this. Could they remove some of those other add-ons so they wouldn't have Asgard and this, or what would be your suggestion for that?
Well, I personally think this is an all-in-one.
Mm-hmm.
So I made a build for the Q Continuum just solely on this build, and that's all it had in it. So as far as I'm concerned, unless you've got extreme ideas of content that you want to add to your add-on, then I think basically this has got everything that you need in one build, in one add-on.
I agree.
Good point. And again, we're talking about the Q Continuum add-on. This was just released a couple days ago. I have numerous people from that team are on the show today to talk about that, take questions. Some people were calling it the Q-Addon, Q Continuum, and I'm still able to halfway say it. So I'm going to keep working at it while I still can say it. So those are some of that. If you guys have any questions that you'd like to ask of the developers, the playlisters, builders on this particular add-on, post over here. Graphic says that he's wanting to see the Mayweather fight. One of the things about the Mayweather fight, now Mayweather they announced that there's a good possibility of Jake Paul and Mayweather fighting. That won't be on Triller. That will, if this happens, Mayweather will have 100% control, and it will be on Showtime. It'll be through Mayweather Productions or whatever his thing is, because Mayweather is going to get a fistful of money on this before Jake Paul makes much on it. That's my opinion. So I don't see it showing up on Triller. They said, what was it? Oscar De La Hoya is supposed to fight. What was it, in June? I don't know if any of you guys watched it. He was going to fight somebody. They wouldn't say who he's going to fight, though.
Jake Paul will get knocked out by Tyson Fury's younger brother soon. He wants that fight. He's going to get his ass kicked, and he's going to be shown up. He's the next what was he, like a reality TV star?
Yeah, he was a YouTuber.
Love. No, he's on Love Island. You know, like Big Brother.
Yeah.
It's like there's a Love Island version. You'll get put on this island, guys and girls, and they have to like mate up and whatever. That's where he found his fame, and he went from that. He went to YouTube, and he's like, he's such a cock. He needs to get smacked. He's going to get smacked, and he's called out Tyson Fury's younger brother, who said, "Yeah, I'll fight you if so and so fights my brother." He's going to get his ass kicked. He's a cocky little prick.
Yeah.
Todd, do you want to showcase the Continuum build? Do you want to showcase that?
I don't have it on my. I don't have it on my side.
I've got it on my side. I can present it.
Yeah. If you want to go ahead and talk about that.
Well, I can't really talk about it, but I can sort of like go through it. I haven't really sort of like delved into it myself. I was just because, like I say, it was actually done on one of my modded DJ Knox mod skins. Mm-hmm. So I was actually helping Ezra like the skin because he was had a few technical problems, and that's how come I've got it. So, but I haven't delved into it. So
that'd be Ezra's chickens like getting away with the process.
It's just
he's got more chickens now.
I've got to make sure I pick the right screen.
Yeah, don't be showing us your other screens. Okay, here we go.
You'll only see YouTube on the other screen because that's what
okay. Dang. Screen. All right, we'll go ahead and open that up.
So let's fire it up. As you can see, this is the Continuum. This is all based just on that one add-on. Everything in it is just based on one add-on, and it's done an awesome job on it.
Now it can't be a real big build, I wouldn't think.
No, I believe it's around about 64 to 67 MB unzipped.
Okay.
Yes.
So
67 unzipped. Unzipped 67.
Yeah. There you are. Yeah. So it's not a massive build. It's very lightweight. It's really smooth. Runs really quick.
Packs a punch.
Yeah, it does pack a punch.
Not Jake Paul's punch, though. He's a pussy.
As you can see, it actually flies. So, like I say, he's got the Continuum section is the whole add-on. So you've got all your sections in that one list on that one. So then you go to your TV shows. Obviously, you'll go to your TV shows. Then underneath, you got all your sub menus, your new releases. Then you got your sport, which will take you to the sport section of it, which is the live stuff, and your replays. I believe UFC replays are in there. I'm not very good at doing these sort of like demonstrations.
Oh, you're doing a great job. We'll have to get you a YouTube channel.
I don't really look at builds. It's like you say.
It's got your track stuff in there. You can mark.
It's got all your tracks.
It's got everything. It's got everything you possibly need. I'll look through it and
the old interface, different interface. It's the old Knox 5. So you get your music as well, and he's done that. I think that's pretty neat. Where he's done it all alphabetically on the sub menu. Done a neat job there. So it's all alphabetical.
Yeah, because we want to listen to some Bee Gees or something.
Yeah, you never know.
Staying alive, don't make me have to start a few more beers and Saturday Night Live or Saturday Night Fever and Snowman outfit come out.
You have to do the dance.
I need to check this. Has it got Tom McDonald in a playlist? I need Tom McDonald, my Canadian dude.
And as you can see, you've only got two add-ons actually in it. One's a library data provider and one's the main add-on. That's it. It might have YouTube actually.
Yeah, it probably does.
It hasn't. It hasn't even got YouTube.
No.
No, it hasn't.
I guess it doesn't need it. Doesn't need
even
YouTube.
got YouTube. Then you got your docs section, which just take you all. And you got kids, and there's no widgets, so
Yeah. Widget,
Even
not having
better.
widgets make it that much quicker.
I hate
it's
widgets.
It's quick enough anyway. So it's like
So
then
Crazy Canuck asks, "Do I need to authorize RD in this repo? Not the repo, in the add-on itself itself. There is a place where you can authorize real Debrid, and
I can actually go to that. Go to system, and if you actually go into system, leave it system again. Go to add-ons. Go to manage dependencies. And you'll see, if you go down the list, as where you authorize your real Debrid.
Yeah.
I like to say, get your information box up, and you can tell it to configure. Then you'll get your list.
The other easier way to do it, hey, go open up his regular list. Let me see if we can do it that way. Go to the main menu for Continuum.
Oh yeah, it probably will be.
And then push, if you go open up Continuum and then push to the left, I bet you with this skin, push left, settings, add-on settings right there. And then in the add-on settings, it'll be right there, reauthorize.
Yeah.
And then you're done. So easy. I mean, they got it very easy for you to sort it, as well as add in your tracked information.
I'm old school. I'm used to going the other way.
Yeah, you go all around. I'm trying. Hey, I looked and can't find it. No, see, hey, I give people the fewest steps, less steps to mess up before I get a message saying they couldn't find it.
I'm just being nosy now. So let's say you got all your sections. I just want to be nosy now. I want to see what he's done with the keyboard. Even though
the keyboard. You look at you. Got to go look at the keyboard. What did he? There's a themer for you. A Skinner.
I fixed it. So you have to modify the keyboard. Else it looks all wonky.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to fix the dialogue busy as well on the 19 skins. So that is the build.
Thank you.
Any questions, push them to Ezza. I can't answer none of them because, like I say, I only helped him with a skin. I've done nothing. I've got no other involvement with it. So
you liar, DJ. You helped me.
Yeah, all questions go to DJ. He is the builder of that particular thing. So, yeah. But yeah, great. You have a good add-on that's got lots and lots of content, Debrid as well as non-Debrid. And to be honest, I really felt that non-Debrid links were dead about a year and a half ago. I thought that was pretty much done. But this new generation of people that are creating add-ons have actually brought that back. I really thought that was done. But there is a lot of add-ons that are creating direct links for non-Debrid. But I still would suggest people to get Debrid, even though I'm not going to post an affiliate link down here. I would highly suggest you to get Debrid, or premiumized, or all Debrid. I don't care which one you get. You're going to find that your life is so much easier.
Non-Debrid links is all down to me. I've been reaching out to every fucking developer saying.
It's all thanks to him.
It's all thanks to me. Do non-Debrid. Why? Because I need non-Debrid. And I'll do it. Especially
he's a cheap bastard.
I've got to give credit where it's due, where they've done an awesome job on that add-on, pulling all together. I think that's amazing.
Yeah, and again, when you're pulling pulling an add-on, you have to put it together. And I think Nar said it. You've got to make it look. You got to have it flow logically, so that the end user can figure out where things are. And you can't add too much stuff because then people get confused. And it's one of the things I did like about this is the way that you guys, even though it's different people's work in one section, You know what I mean? Like with movies or TV, you have, it's not like your, I'll use Bob, for example. When we had Bob, there would be Griffins or Kara's or Blues or mine or whoever's section. And some had TV, some didn't. And so where you guys, all the movies is together, all the TV is together, instead of breaking it up like a.
That was one of the sole reasons why we tried to get together and say, well, why have, as now said before, and as you just said, Dabs, like Bob and
Phoenix.
Yeah,
Phoenix,
they were all different sections, so you have to come out of one to go into another to get a category. And we tried to put all the categories into one whole thing, which could be overwhelming to certain people. But we tried to simplify it as best as we could.
Yeah. Well, I think you've done a good job with making it seem logical and how you have it laid out.
Valhalla. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen add-ons that done. I think of Death Star, who had a collaboration of a lot of things.
That's the add-on I was trying to think of, Death Star, where you had loads of things in Death Star, but you had to go in and come out, go in, come out, go in, come out.
Yeah. Yeah, and it, going in and going out, it's only good in one aspect. I'll
take your word for that, Dabs.
Dun-dun-dun. I couldn't help it. I was set up for that. I'm like, oh, that's perfect. That's a perfect segue right there. Dun-dun-dun.
Honeymoon.
No, I just look at it, and then she leaves. So yeah, good stuff. So do you guys have other ideas where you may take this, or things that you would like to add, or things you got next step plans or anything like that?
I do.
Okay.
I would like to think that if it does work the way it seems to be going within a couple of days, the feedback's been great. I don't see why we can't bring all of Asgard, Rogue One, METV, Free, etc., into it, and just have the one.
That was my worry.
And we could possibly pull a few more, possibly, people into the fold that will make it even bigger and better.
Absolutely.
I updated my build the other day. I took out Rogue One, put in Continuum, and I just thought Asgard's going to fucking fuck off in soon. And I'm going to update my build in 3 days' time.
No, it's
I
not.
knew it was trouble. Every time I update my build, I Q-Addons.
That's the problem. As a builder, you know that when you do stuff like that, you're like, oh, this one just made this pointless because this is already there. And so, yeah, as a builder, and that's why I was asking that questions. So when you guys were thinking about where you wanted to go, so that if there's things you're going to add, then as builders would say, hey, I'm going to go ahead and remove this add-on because that add-on is inside this one.
Absolutely. And because the shadow base is huge, it makes sense.
And the thing is, you from day to day, I don't suppose you think where you want to go till you see something. You see it, you do it. It's not a foregone conclusion, is it? Of what you have to do to an add-on. It's every day is different, and you kind of get new things pulling in. But it's not sort of like an end result at the end of the day for an add-on.
It's how far can you push it?
Precisely, DJ. It is. I can push it, or Na can push it, Seaman can push it tomorrow. and they can push it again the day after, and so on
Seaman
and so
can't
forth.
get out of
So
bed, let alone push anything.
it's a non, it's a non thing.
Fuck you, Neuer.
The other side of this is, we're open for anybody to give us suggestions.
I've got a suggestion. Don't keep Hasdale for another 6 months. I ain't doing no more updates.
I'm not. We're not talking tomorrow. You know.
Maybe next week.
No.
I was thinking Sunday, start the new week.
That's right. Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, with this is, I do like to see where people are trying to come together, and that is it is a juggle to work together to be a flow as a group. But it also is not always easy because sometimes personalities and I know even with Bob, there was times when you're like, people were bumping heads, and I know that if Cosmix is over there, I'm sure that there was times with Phoenix. Whenever you pull together, it's great, but it also can be they're good and bad on that, because sometimes you catch people on a bad day.
Yeah,
I remember. I update my build. I had a Bob Unleashed, like brand new background. This like Ford Mustang Shelby breaking through the chains.
Yeah, Bob Unleashed.
Yeah, Bob Unleashed. And you fucked off the next week, like the fucking chains.
I think one thing
to like saying like
I think
Bennu
one
or
thing,
something like
Todd,
that.
too, is picking the right group of people. I think we have them. I mean, we all get along great. I mean, there's no doubt about it. But I agree with what you're saying. But
I don't think there's anybody with an ego in there but me.
I'll say like that.
True
that.
that.
We're not in the same team, but we love each other. Like,
better demote you then. No.
Yeah.
We all get on. I think the community's quite good at the moment.
I think Seaman's got a point there. You can speak to so many people over 12 months, 24 months on a text. And if you don't have a bad point on a text, then whether you spoke to that individual personally, I don't think it makes any difference. I think it means that you actually understand each other.
Yes.
And I think that the kinds of like Seaman, Nas, DJ, everybody involved is not, there's no issue on a text conversation.
No.
So it's how you are as a person to how you understand the other person that you're speaking to.
I'm more laid back than Chris. I am asleep in the chair now.
Fuck off. Chris is under the ground.
No, I'm laying in bed. Fuck off, Noah.
Yeah,
Just to say that on a note, sometimes text is taken out of context, and
exactly. Right, I will say this: even amongst our own team,
a lot of people are in different countries, so things mean things differently. Yeah. So I think that some of us speaking sometimes means a lot because we understand.
Yeah, we speak English and you don't.
Oh,
I don't know. I find it a lot easier. Instead of me sitting there typing away, I'll do a Google's Meets. I find it a lot easier that way because I can actually talk to somebody and they'll understand. I can share my screen and they'll understand that way.
Well, I told Dabs today, I said, just call me. It's easier.
Yeah. Yeah, because text, and even, again, with Bob Unleashed, there was times where Blue, or I don't want to say just, but there was different, where we would have little squabbles, and it wasn't about, It was just because when people read text, sometimes the way that you typed it out is not the way that they accepted it. You know, they read it with some. Yeah, it's hard.
The word is Todd. It gets misconstrued.
Yes.
Nar
We
speaks
find that.
Russian.
We found that in our team. We got a team of like 13, and we're like across the pond, like two sides. And just because like our humour is different to like the US humour or the Canadian humour, and they take it out of context what we're saying, even though we're not meaning nothing by it.
Exactly.
And they go, "Whoa, that's a bit harsh." Like, no,
just because I called you a cunt doesn't mean it's a negative.
Yeah, exactly. In England, being called that is like quite a compliment.
Yeah. That's what I learned. Again, dealing with people that are from the UK, I did learn that was a word that was thrown around a whole lot more than in the US. You know, in the US, it wasn't even a word you were allowed to use. He's like, "Oh, we can't use that word." No. Yeah, my mom would smack my mouth. You know.
My wife gets on me all the time.
If I stub my toe on a table, I call myself one. Oh, you fucking...
My wife gets on me all the time now because I say sorted. We say finished in the US. They say sorted.
It's like you say, cunt is only used as a swear word when you sort of like raise your voice to it. You sort of like really mean it. That's when that's when it's used as an aggressive sort of like thing in the UK. But any other time, it's just like water off a duck's back.
Yeah.
I speak English now.
Yeah, you've been speaking to me too much, ain't you?
You and Nar and Noir and Ezra. Yes.
All right, hey, I'll go ahead. Let's go ahead and DJ. Let's go ahead and you had a new theme that you were going to show on the show. Do you want to go ahead?
No, I thought you were going to do the crew.
Oh,
I was, but I didn't know you. I can do the crew first.
Do the crew first. Do the crew first.
Sort your thing. All right, so sort yourself there. So one of the other items that we'll move on to another subject here, and that is Crew Sports came out last week. I did a video, put it on Cocoscope. The crew is working on 19. Is it ready? No. Is it going to be ready this week? I don't know. There's no idea. They're working on it. But what they gave the community is a snippet, a tad, something to hold you over, because a lot of people relied on the Crew Sports and the Crew Sports add-on. And let me go ahead and I'll share my screen on this one. Is
Q Sports or Crew Sports? I'm not sure.
Crew.
Oh, sorry. Time for me to go.
Yeah. Well, sorry. All right.
Well,
so
you are up late, ain't you?
I was going to talk about the Crew Sport. This is, to be honest, it does a really good job. I love the way that it's organized through the categories. You're having all the sports scrapers that they offered in 18. So if you're a fan and you've used their sports section in 18, this would be the Cody 19 option that you're going to want to install for your free links. I'm not going to open up the links, but it has all of your content. And when you go to a pay-per-view, there's a pay-per-view, but it's a Pro Fighters something. I think last name starts with a P. But so there's going to be a pay-per-view tonight, but they're going to have multiple links, and you'll have the servers that they're pulling from. So great option for you people that are looking for the free sports. If you're looking for a 19 option, the Crew Sports has done a very good job. Again, I did a video on Cocoscope. I did not put it on YouTube because YouTube is not very friendly with me on add-ons. So I have to be very careful about what I post. But I did a video. You can install it. One of the things, if you install this, and if you install from the Crew repo, you're going to need to push to the left, and I will show it on. And I'm using the default skin because I feel like it's the easiest. So let me go to my add-ons. What you're going to want to do is update the repository, because the repository is going to update from the version that you probably have. Give my computer a second because I need to reinstall Windows, so it seems to want to run extremely slow when I'm opening these Cody things. So give it a second. Okay, so what you want to do is push to the left, and on this skin, you're going to want to check for updates. And you'll find that it's going to update the repository. Once it updates the repository, you'll be able to get it. So if you open the crew repository and you say, the crew sports is not there, if you update the repository, you will find that it is there. So I'll click that.
That's a 19 thing, isn't it?
Yes, and it is a 19, and you'll see there it is right there. So, and there's another add-on here that some may want to check out as an adult content, but I'm not going to go into that one. But it is that, if for you folks that do remember that on 18, I spoke to JP, and JP says he's even adding more websites to that. He says he's continued to add websites, so I'm holding off on my video on that. And that will also be on Cocoscope, because I can't trust to put that on YouTube for sure. But as we were saying, Q Sports, which is this add-on, and it's a standalone as well as it's embedded inside of Q Continuum add-on. So you can have it as a standalone if that's all you want is the sports, or you can have it from inside the Q Continuum. And the US TV Live Go, or the US TV Go, that amazes me how well that works. I used to actually install that on, if family members had Fire Sticks or stuff, I would bookmark that website. And I found that the website started making use of VPN and all kinds of stuff. But I went through that today, and just about every link worked. So you got a couple options for your 19. You've got the Q Sports or the Crew Sports, both working very well. They're both a little bit different, so you could probably have both of them and have, depending on what you're looking for at a particular time, you'll be able to enjoy it. So that was what I had for that particular thing. Show jizz. No, that's not. Look at Cosmics. That's a totally no. I'm not even. Hey, when I actually show that on my Cocoscope channel, I've already planned out how I'm going to have to blur out all the thumb images, because if anybody that's opened that add-on, no. I know. And there's a lot of people that ask about that. It's amazing how many private messages I get from people saying, hey, can you help me find this? And I'm like, all right. And it's always that content that they're looking for, but they won't ask it out in public, but they'll send you a private message. Hey, I'm looking for this content. Okay. All right. There you go. Go amongst your way. Are there other add-ons working in the crew on 19? No other parts of the crew are working in 19. They only released the sports section of that particular add-on. They are working on the full-fledged. One thing I will say, that on the full-fledged version, it is not decided yet if the full crew will overwrite Crew Sports, or if they will allow Crew Sports to be its own standalone. And hopefully you understand it, because they're using the same add-on ID. So what would happen if they left the same ID and that updated? It would they would take the full crew once it's ready, would overwrite the sports if they leave the ID the same. They could change the ID, so it would be, two different IDs, so it would be two different add-ons. They haven't decided how they're going to do it. And that's cool. We'll see down the road if it's going to be left as two different add-ons or just merged back into one. So we'll see. All right. So we got that going. DJ, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. I can share some of that I've been working on.
I've seen this. This is good.
All right.
Some of that I've been working on for a couple of days. So let me just share my screen. It is actually done, but I'm just making a few extra little tweaks here and there. So it's all been tested out as well on the actual NVIDIA Shield. So this is one that our buddy Matrix Iconics, he'll love this if he's still there. He'll love this one.
He'd be asleep.
Probably. He was there earlier on. Yeah, this is one that I've been looking.
Look at that. Look at that. Fucking beautiful.
A Matrix theme.
Oh.
I did the gift myself as well in After Effects. And it actually drops down, then it reverses back. So as you can see, it all reverses back up. So it's not a continuous drop. It'll drop down, then it'll reverse back. I'd like to say that probably took me about 3.5 hours just for, I think it's about 11 seconds. So 3.5 hours in After Effects just to create that thing. But it's worth it in the end. So like you say, it's all been customized. I just love the layout. I just thought nobody else has done one. I haven't seen a decent Matrix one. So I thought, let's do a Matrix. And I just came up with that idea. Morpheus, he did originally in the original picture that I actually took him out of. He had a blue pill and a red pill in each. I had to edit all that out so I could put a red pill and a red pill in both hands, so it looked right on the screen. So, like I say, it's
this coronavirus or a fucking Viagra.
Yeah. So the Lisfo.
I'll take the Viagra.
Yeah, I knew you would. So like I say, I've added it onto the Lisfo as well, but it's only on the Lisfo on the sub menu. That's the only place it's been added onto.
That is sweet. That is sweet as.
And like I say, I've just been toying around with favorites. As you can see, you can add your favorites. You got your panel. Shutdown menu. Go to the shutdown menu. It's all been moved up. So it was sitting lower down, so I've moved that all up. And let's say you got your search, your normal search box. That's one thing I've got to move up. I've actually got to move that up. So I'll just, because it's sitting on the menu bar, I'll just move it up. I'll go into the XML. So he's still a little bit, so I'm tweaking with it. Mm-hmm. You get your arrows on the end of the sub menu bar when you're going round as well. So your directional arrows. I was going to change that so it looks like a pill. You have the blue pill on the red, then the red pill on the blue. I don't know yet. I'm just toying with it.
Oh, you know when it's like scraping, like when it's trying to find like, say you want to have like Neo like backwards, like the old bullets coming towards him while it's like searching.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
So it's I think I can't remember what I've done. I've done the two pills. The pills when it's searching, the pills rotate. So you got a blue and a red pill that'll rotate with the dialogue busy. So that's how I set it up. That's how. There's the actual panel work. I love this keyboard.
I love the aspects of this build. I think it's absolutely brilliant.
It is. It's fantastic.
I'd say it's getting there slowly. I've probably got another couple of hours left on it. And
don't rush it.
No rush. No rush. All the panel work is done. All the default artwork is done. As you can see, all the default icons have been all done. They've got a glass on them, a red glass. And they actually have like a blue outline as well, but you can't really see it on there. because it's quite small. But on the actual add-on browser, you might see it a bit more. It's just there faintly on the tick. You can just see a blue. I didn't want to put too much.
That's good.
The other little extra, if you don't want the GIF, is a little special bit. Go into the skin settings. Go into the skin settings. Go to the matrix extras. Turn the GIF off and turn backgrounds on. And you can go back to the main menu and you can have backgrounds. And they rotate every 4 seconds.
That's cool. I love that bit.
Nice.
Then
I'm surprised that more people have with Matrix as a name for 19 that everybody, you would have thought the flood of people would have just went with this theme. And I know there has been a few, and people are going to say, oh, well, I've got a build that's called Matrix, but you would have thought that it would have just been a crazy flood.
Then if you want, you can choose red or blue. And you can add that onto it, and that will give you red or blue pills falling.
Dropping the pills.
Dropping them.
And on this show, we do not endorse taking pills.
No.
Just saying that.
I do.
And go into system, and there's all your icons for your system menu.
Well, bang on theirs.
Nice.
And it is. That's all right, isn't it?
Nice work. So, and this will be in the DJ's theme wizard, which I did a video on a couple weeks back. So once it's ready, it will be part of your wizard. Am I correct?
Yeah, it'll be part of my wizard. It might be there tomorrow, but most likely, I would say Sunday.
Okay.
Most likely Sunday. It'll be there.
All right.
So like I say, it's just little things that I want to fix. Well, not really fix, just adjust.
Yeah.
Like I say, like the search box, I've just got to adjust the search box and move that hub higher so it's off the menu, just to give it that cleaner look, like I've done with this shutdown menu.
Yeah.
Move that up because that was sitting actually on the menu as well. I've moved that up. So it's just little touches.
Nice. Well, thank you, DJ.
I love
you.
it, D. That's great.
And again, DJ's doing theme work all the time. And again, it is not a build. Themes are, it is an optimized modded skin is what they are. Doesn't have any add-ons. Doesn't have nothing else.
No.
It's just a skin with some built-in extras. So you could take and download that and then add whatever add-ons you want to it. So
yeah,
that's what that is.
Use it to your pleasure.
Sometimes, Dabs, I don't think people realize how much work that is, though. That is that's from top to bottom, adding buttons and XMLs. I mean, that's a crazy
back and forth.
It's like you say, there's all me Photoshop PSDs that are created for it.
That's Todd.
And then that's me. That's me. You stopped sharing, didn't you? So
no, I'm sharing now. I went back.
And that's me After Effects when I created the GIF. So there's my actual final comp from After Effects, and I just had to use a website to convert it into a GIF because that's an MP4. When I did it, it was just too big. And it was nice that the actual website that I actually used gave me the option to reverse it. So it was really good that he'd actually done that. But the only downfall is he put a watermark on it.
Yeah.
But that's hidden.
For free.
Yeah, it was free.
Couldn't you hide that, DJ?
Yeah, it's hidden. It's hidden behind the main menu.
Right.
Because that main screen that you see there is actually a PNG. So like I say, hold on you'll actually see it. So if I open this up, Matrix, there you go. You can see it flipping all the layers to create that. Give it a moment. It's probably because I'm sharing. It's taking a little bit longer.
Once he gets done showing, I'm gonna run back for you guys. I saw some people posted questions, so we're gonna roll back through some of the questions to try to answer the things that you guys have asked. So give us a minute.
Yes, thanks, Graphics, for the nice comment. So as you can see, that's it actually there, and it's that where that is. That's transparent. So that main bit is all created as a PNG. So it's just pulling the one image. Then in the XMLs, I've had the GIF, so it falls behind that.
Right.
When you take the GIF away and put the backgrounds fall behind that. So all the backgrounds have been created separate as well.
Yeah.
So this is all, like you say, you can see all the different layers just to create that one. That one image. And there's all my backgrounds that are done.
Yeah.
To fit, look. They've all been sized to actually fit in there. All been rendered down to fit.
And anybody that's used Photoshop, it is not newbie friendly.
No, it's not newbie friendly. That's one thing it isn't. It isn't newbie friendly. When I first started, I was like, no. I was afraid of it. As you can see, use text there. If I take the text off, the red disappears, the red pill. So it's all been sort of like added.
Yeah.
And then pills, that took me probably an hour and a half to get them all the same size in here. Because like you say, they are that small in his hand. And to get them all the same size took me an hour and a half.
It's a lot of work.
Oh, a hell of a lot of work. And they're separate. All them are separate. So which one is that? Let's find out. That's probably, there you are. A blue one's just gone. So like I say, you can see they're separate. He's got nothing. I edited and took the others out.
Can you imagine how long it takes me to do that on a phone?
Probably ages.
You don't do it on your phone because you ain't gonna do all that work. So
I wouldn't
thank you, DJ.
I wouldn't dream of doing stuff like this on my phone. No. I know there is a phone Photoshop, isn't there? You can actually get Photoshop for a phone.
I don't know how people would be able to do it. I mean, that would be so slow.
I've not found Photoshop on phone, not a cracked version yet.
All right, so Sandy has a question here. It says, "Hey folks, does anyone know what happened to plus aged guy?" I'm not familiar with that person. Any of you guys familiar with plus aged guy?
Only Ezra.
Yeah, that's me going old, but no, I don't know the name.
I've never heard of the name, so I don't know, Sandy. That's not a name that I'm familiar with, so not sure about that one. Another question from Crazy Canuck. The boys in chains are working inside on the crew. All right, so the boys in the chains add-ons are not the crew add-ons. Some people actually, I saw it on Reddit where people are like, oh, the crew is on 19. It's called the boys now. No, that is not the same. Not the same people, not the same group. I think that the boys said that the crew could host their add-on on the crew repository. That is about it on that. I don't know that, but no, not the same team. Not the same. So there are two good things. Just because someone has an add-on in the repository does not make them the person working on that add-on. Sometimes you're friends with somebody from another team, and you say, "Hey, you guys can post your add-on, or we'll host your add-on in our repository." That's as far as it can go. I mean, this can be just simple like that, and that happens all the time. So again, two separate things. The boys do even the boys have their own repository. I did a video on it, so there is their own repository, and you can install via that. So not the same. So just making sure we'll clear that up. I know that there's been people that have thought the same thing. Snakebit says, is it worth the hassle making a non-debrid continuum build, then adding continuum to a debrid build? Would it be worth the hassle? What do you guys think that you guys that worked on the continuum, someone that made like just a non-debrid build? Is there enough content, do you think, that they could create a build?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I would have thought so as well.
I mean, looking at what I looked at, there was a lot there. I mean, if you're a builder, sure, someone's going to say, hey, I can't find XYZ, and you know, and I'm using the non-debrid and I can't find it. Okay, maybe. So that is the issue, you know. But there is a lot of content.
There's a workaround. We have a manual scraper called Stu.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. If you're in some of these Telegram groups, and again, I've preached the importance to joining some of the Telegram groups. If people say, well, I want to add this and that, and they'll post it on Twitter or they send me a message on YouTube. If you join the Telegram group, most of the time you can actually send a message and someone from that team will actually see the message and may be able to fix the problem or add the content.
Absolutely.
Not a promise that they would, but it at least you can get it out there and get it to the people that could actually add it. So, yep. And you guys have a group. I will post that in the show notes below. So anybody that was looking to join the show, I will have that in the show notes below, so you can join their Telegram group.
Yeah. What would you say in the Continuum add-on? Would you say there was 30%, 40% free?
Oof. There's quite a lot in that free, a lot. There must be thousands of movies, thousands.
So basically, you could, what Dabs has just asked, then you could make an add-on out of just a free.
Yeah.
And like Dabs asked, if something's broken, we fix it. Especially if you're on Telegram.
Yeah, but there's loads of content in there to be a free add-on. Or a free build, or whatever you want to call it. Mm-hmm. There's enough content to make it just free.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
All the way round.
Well, it is free, isn't it? The add-on, anyway. So it is free, and the links are free. Like you say, all they have to do is authorize debrid. If they don't authorize debrid, the free links.
As opposed to having real debrid, if they just wanted a free add-on that they just wanted to install and click, they could make 40% of a good add-on.
Yes.
A good build. And if you did a build, if you were smart about how you did the build, almost like that Q build that you guys showed, if you made the build and then you only added that, and then you created submenus to the non-debrid section, so non-debrid kids, non-debrid movies, non-debrid TV shows, and you created those shortcuts, you could make it so that people that use the build wouldn't realize the other stuff is there.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, you know what I mean? Because they would click the non-debrid movies, and that's what they would see.
It's a good point.
So that's what Red did. Todd was one of his latest builds. He did a non-debrid build and did all his submenus as non-debrid. So that's all they saw.
So they wouldn't know no different unless you backed up and then you're like, wait, there's a whole section in there. Yeah. What are the other questions here? I had Timothy ask, what about organizing personal movies? I'm assuming this was movies. Music, and games. All right, so movies and music, easy to do if you have Plex, or Jellyfin is a free option that a lot of people don't check out. Penn was on the side chat, and anybody, if you look up Jellyfin, it's completely free. Great Plex alternative. So you can go that route. Plex is free in a lot of ways, but it does have a paid section of it. Games. So when you talk games, all right, so Kodi, you can actually do Kodi if you wanted an all-in-one. Kodi will allow movies, music, and games of your private or your personal library. I have not messed with Kodi 19 in games yet. I have seen some videos. It doesn't look super hard. They've gotten better than they were in 18. But I haven't messed with it myself. But it is possible with a little bit of reading and a little bit of work. It just depends on how much work you want to put into it. But that's on doing your own personal movies, music, and movies, and games. Kodi is a media center, which what I mean is it can manage all your media and in the interface. Now, it does not control what you get or where you got it from, but it controls how you see it so that you see everything together. And that is the good thing about Kodi, is that it gives you an all-in-one media center. And that was, it's called the media center. It gives you that. Plex gives you that. Now, Plex says they're going to add games, but that's down the road. But for music, movies, and TV, does a great job to do that. And there is some others. Like I said, Jellyfin does a good job. There's two others. MB is the other media center. What's that other media center? Not MB. I can't think of the other media center. MB, and there's another one. That can be media centers that can control, that gives you that interface look. So it just depends on how much time you guys want to spend and how you want it to look.
Todd, have you noticed that on 19 you get a better quality and a sound increase on anything that you play?
Yes, and it does, because it does offer HDR. It offers, starts with an A, not Ambius. Atmos. It added Atmos. And I actually see that pop up on my screen when I go to play it. But again, that depends on your TV, your unit, whatever your streaming device is, and your sound system. So there's variables in there.
I've just noticed that, like you say, on 19, I have to turn my Bose system down. But when I go to the 18, I have to turn it up.
Yeah, it could be doing better pass-through. Penn posted over here. Nova Player shows a nice front-end view for content on your local network. And he actually talked about that on the Samba, on his Samba video, where he talked about creating a Samba, basically a shared network on your system. And he used the Nova video player to see that content and to be able to do it. Skull says the same thing about Nova. So great. Yep. The good players. Jellyfin got me at the beach when I was a kid. Jellyfish. Well, I said jellyfin. Yeah, jellyfish. Yeah, watch out for the jellyfish. Jellyfish can be pretty mean. I don't know. Do you guys have any jellyfish out there over there in the UK? I know that
we do, but we don't go swimming in our waters.
Yeah, I know in the East Coast we do have it because it's warm enough. I think they need a little bit of a warmer water.
Texas, we definitely have them.
Yeah. You guys got some warm water over there. You can actually swim in your water. That's one of the things when I do move up north, I'll be missing swimming in the ocean. Asif asked, when did Continuum come out? And that was, 2 days ago, maybe?
Yep.
Yeah.
Hasn't been long.
Yeah, Thursday.
Wednesday night, actually.
Or did it?
Yeah,
You guys,
Wednesday.
you guys went to bed and left me with it.
That was the plan.
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
Okay, Asif asks if now I'm not sure if any of you guys have used Sarin or Venom. Honestly, no. I'm not meaning to insult either one. I found that Venom was when Venom came out to not this 5.0, but the version before that was really spotty. Even though it was fast, I just kept having issues, and I quit messing with it. Sarin, when they went to the newest write, when he did the full rewrite before anybody went to 19 rewrite, I was having issues, so I personally moved away from it. I'm not sure. Any of you guys been still messing with Sarin or Venom and seeing artwork issues?
All I see is shadow base. That's all I see.
Yeah, and a lot of add-ons have moved that direction to shadow base, and what that means is they've used shadow. So shadow for 19 added the feature to where you could add playlists, and a lot of add-ons have said, hey, I'll use that as my base and I'll build on top of that, and it's worked out really well for that. So I haven't used either one of those Sarin or Venom in a while, because the only other one I did was Blink. Don't Blink. I was messing around with Don't Blink while he was doing some work on it, and he's still working on that. But it's when you're talking 2 seconds difference, is there any difference? When I say, well, I get the link in 10 seconds or I can get the link in 12 seconds, is there a difference? I mean,
I didn't even notice.
Yeah. So could I push down Shadow's telling Shadow you only have 5 seconds to find the link and then give me your results like Blink does? Would it make it as fast as Blink? So I'm in that group where I mess around with it.
I never worry about how long it takes, as long as it plays.
Well, some don't. Asif says that widgets look terrible in these add-ons. I haven't used any widgets. Any of you guys, because I haven't updated my build in about 6 months. That's just me. C-Man, have you guys noticed any issues with when you're trying to create some widgets?
I've noticed nothing different. I mean, how would they be different with artwork?
I don't know.
They're all thumbs pulling from the add-ons.
Should. Asif says he's still getting a line error from 19. I have seen this in the group chat in the shadow room. A lot of times I suggest to people uninstall. Sometimes you can uninstall the add-on and it's something in the user data folder that you have to erase, but sometimes you can uninstall and still not remove the user data. And the problem still persists. I use Shadow on not a daily basis, but every 2 to 3 days when I watch something. I haven't seen an error like that line error. I haven't seen one in mine in months. And I have seen it in the past. And I think that I ended up having to completely wipe Shadow, and I removed the user data folder, made sure that was removed, and then rebooted Kodi and then reinstalled it, and the problem was gone. So it's like I like to call it a ghost in the machine, because it's a problem that you're having, but it's not a problem that everybody's having because it's just on your setup, if that makes sense.
Well, one thing I saw this morning was someone added a 19 build. There was an imported Kodi from Play Store, and it's going to import add-ons 27 in your database.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to kill your resolver. Nothing's going to work. So you have to uninstall it and reinstall it.
And what you're saying is, and that's a perfect. perfect point about when we call it migration. So like you had 18, and then 19 overwrites, and anybody that's booted up your Kodi when it first happens, what does it say? Migrating. And it'll sit there for 5 or 10 minutes while it's migrating. I'm telling you, you're gonna have problems. You're gonna have problems. Maybe not with this or that, but it brings in all kinds of problems with it. If you're like, hey, I want to move to 19, okay, fine, move to 19. Delete 18. Install 19, fresh, nothing on it, brand new.
Exactly.
It's like a brand new car smell. And then install the things that you want to run.
If you want to stick with 18, get an 18 fork.
Yeah,
there's plenty out there. Grab an 18 fork and use the official matrix from the Google store if that's what people want to do. That way you can have both then, and like you say, you can have an 18 build that will not get wiped.
And I do the same thing with mine. I have 18 and I have auto updates turned off, which I did a video and I suggested maybe at this point, as DJ says, install a fork of 18 and go back and install that, and then allow or then delete Kodi, let Kodi install a 19 version by itself, and then go moving forward on that. So you'd have two versions, but you're just gonna have to when we mix 18 and 19 together, y'all, it's gonna cause problems. It's gonna cause problems. And I know I've seen where people talk about certain dependencies that are 18 dependencies pulling on the 19 or vice versa. That happens. So let's go ahead. We're gonna roll out of here because we're at 1 hour and 45 minutes. And I'm thinking my ambient light's messing up and it's bugging me. So I got to fix the wire. And I'm thinking maybe I'm going to watch the new movie that came out today, which is what?
Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat. So maybe. Stuart, I'm not waking up Noir. We'll let him sleep. He looks so pretty when he's sleeping.
I'm just saying things from C-Man's point of view.
Hey, listen, he even had a little bit of a draw to him.
Yeah, I don't have a fucking draw.
Yeah, it's not so cool. I don't see why I need to move, like, talk to y'all. I'm just gonna stay.
Go fuck yourself.
Hey, C-Man's gonna get a plane ticket right over there, whoop some ass. That'll be the next.
Right.
Hey.
Oh, C-Man is to get off his ass to get a plane ticket. Like he's gonna do that. He's got.
Did you guys watch the Triller? What's it? The Fight Club, where you can videotape a street fight and upload it to Triller, and they'll pay you money if people like it enough. So
he better bring some friends.
D-Man gonna be laying a smackdown. Lou, thank you for that. Yes, tonight it's like PFL, Professional Fight League or something, and it's gonna be starting here in the next hour or two. So that will be happening soon. So you got that fights tomorrow night, pay-per-view.
Is that with crash helmets on? Is it American? Do they wear crash helmets?
No, they don't have to wear. People get knocked the F out tomorrow night. So big fight tomorrow. 3 belts are on the line tomorrow. So take a look at the UFC. Alban's not here. Thoughts out for Alban, who is not feeling well. So he's not able to join us, but I know that he'd be talking about, we got fights tomorrow.
Oh, what's up? What's up with him?
He's not doing well. He's been sick. He's been real sick.
Okay. All right.
So, yeah. So thoughts and prayers out to Alban.
Thoughts and prayers my way.
Yeah. Hopefully, he's able to, but he's not able. He wasn't able to be on Wednesday's night show or tonight's show. So, we got definitely. So we got Stuart says Impact Wrestling Revolution. So Sunday pay-per-view. The UFC on tomorrow night. Tonight is PFL, if I'm not mistaken, what it was. Let's see. Let me look. There was something else that I was actually
Yeah,
going to look at.
Sunday, Manchester United versus Leeds. That's a big one.
Who is that? Is
Yeah,
that
exactly?
what is that? Soccer?
Yeah,
I've heard of
Manchester United.
I've heard of Leeds.
They're owned by American family who own the Tampa Buccaneers, the Glazer family, and that's who owns us. They fucked us right over. They've almost kicked us the fucking. They almost kicked us off the fucking planet.
Let's see. We also have Route and Rowdy 14 real backyard fights is on tonight. I don't even know what that is, but that sounds like I might watch it. I might actually watch that for a minute. A little bit of some lots of sprint car racing, a lot of dirt tracks, a lot of that going on. So a handful of sports going on, you guys. So check it out tonight. Lots of things going on. I'll go ahead and start with Esserman. Thank you for joining the show. Thank you for your work. Anything you want to say before we go?
No, just thanks for having me, Dabs. Pleasure. My pleasure. Anytime you guys want to join, again, my platform is open to anybody that wants to join. Narcissist.
Hello.
Did I say that right? Narcissist.
Yeah.
Did I say that right? Okay. Thank you for joining the show. Anything you want to say before we go?
Thank you very much for having us on board. I really appreciate it.
A pleasure to thank you for your work. C-Man.
Hey, thanks for having me as always. I was trying to be a little more active and interactive tonight because you said I was boring today.
Nothing like Telegram.
And nowhere it says I'm laying down all the time. Fuck you.
See, man, I'll come and pump your pillows up in a minute, bud.
Love you, bro.
Fluff them up, baby. Oh.
I'll come and fluff you up.
Thanks, guys.
Makes it a bit more comfy.
Noir, anything you want to say before we go, bud?
No, because whatever I say won't make sense anyway.
It probably won't.
Yeah.
So check out Q-Addon, another add-on in the community. Check it out. A lot
Still
of good content
18
in there.
only at the moment. 18 only.
18. Yes, thank you for clarifying that. 18 only.
We're not
just say one thing, Dabs. I'd just like to thank DJ for the help he's given me over the last week or so.
Hey,
man.
Yeah,
hey,
DJ.
You don't have to thank me, matey. I'll help anybody anytime, and like you say, hit me up in Telegram anytime you need any help. I'll pass my little bit of knowledge that I know over.
That's what it's about.
DJ, a virtual blowjob's a blowjob. Just take it.
All right, DJ, anything you want to say before we go? I'm gonna have to put Noir on.
I'd just like to thank Ez and Nah and C-Man and the other three guys are actually involved.
Fuck you.
Hey, wait your turn. And the other three people that are actually involved that have put this awesome add-on out there for people to actually use. It's amazing that the community is still there. They're still pulling together and, as we say, joining hands and getting on. And it's great that that's actually happened. And yeah, I've got to give you a personal. This is for you now.
No, you haven't. Honestly, you haven't.
Happy birthday for Sunday that's just gone. 18 all over again. And yeah, thanks, Dabs, for having me on the show. And it's been great.
Dad, can I say one more thing?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
A shout out to AA, the developer, who really a lot of 19 would not be out there if it wasn't for him. What a fantastic developer.
Very good point and awesome segue. Yeah,
I'll second that.
Again, we've all been in the community a long time. And one of the things about that is with AA that is very commendable and is not always seen. Sometimes people say, "Oh, the community's crap." All right, we've heard that before, but I'm gonna tell you, it's not all crap. And there's a lot of people that work together and try to create some stuff. And when he came in and first created Destiny, and then took some time off, and then came back with Shadow, and they created Shadow and said, anybody that wants to fork it and make it whatever you want, feel free. And then when 19 came out and we were struggling, and he went and got 19, took Genless and allowed Genless to play in 19 was phenomenal, because 19 would be very limited if it wasn't for the ability to take the Shadow base and to plug in the playlist from Gen, which a lot of people were doing, and to use those playlists. And he's been very quick to fix things and to create plugins. So you're exactly right about what he's done. And I think C-Man 100% that if 19 would not be anything what it is right now if it wasn't for what he allowed and was so selfless about it.
I'm a
You
fan.
don't see him
so
nowhere.
No, I'm a fan, just so he knows.
Yeah. I mean, you don't see him looking for, hey, I need to be on your show so I can get some, as somebody said, a virtual blowjob. You don't see that.
That's
He's
just
like,
me.
yeah.
I'm not interested in virtual blowjobs.
I am.
Yeah, that's what you do.
Well,
You just need one.
It's very kind of Ezra to actually do that and say it while we're actually on the show, but he didn't have to.
I know.
He's
I
like,
know.
I've got no ego.
No, you don't. I mean, you do it because you want to help people, and that's what a lot of us do. Is we do it to help people, and that is one of the nice things.
I'm trying to be Ron Burgundy of Cody.
Great, be what? Ron Burgundy. I don't know what Noir's doing.
There's a lot of great
I'm
things
trying
going
to
on right now. It's a lot
in
of
charge, like, get him going again.
He's trying to charge C-Man up.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm trying to get USB up his arse, like, and get him going.
Oh, jeez.
You know what? This is what keeps it fun. It's a lot of fun, and good to see a lot of people involved.
Stay where you are. Lay down. I'll come around in a minute and I'll give you a wash.
Fuck.
I'll come and give you a wash.
Come give you a wash. So again, I just want to say thanks to everybody that joined the chat. And this show is about trying.
I'm not doing your downloads though. You can see the downloads it yourself.
Again, this show is about helping, teaching, learning, sharing your projects. So if you have a project you'd like to come on the show, share it. I'll be more than happy to have you on the show, because again, this community is so vibrant and there's so much going on, and I really wasn't sure where Cody 19 was going to go when it first came out, because I wasn't sure who was going to rise to the top on this. But there's been numerous people, and I used Nar, not Noir. I'll use Nar, for example, who has been a person that's really stepped up, and he's put himself to try to learn. And so hats off to people like that have stepped up during this time.
Yeah, he's taking it to another level.
I want to take a massive shout out to Nar as well, because I've seen this guy come from like 4 years ago, from just being like a user to like taking it in and sucking it in. And come.
All right, that's enough. All right, so we'll go ahead. I'll put Noir. What?
Let's not get personal.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and close the show, and then we'll have the after show. So we'll have the after show, and I'll post a link to that. So any of you guys that want to stay for the after show, and I'll post it in my group that people can join, and we can BS and have a good time. Thanks for you guys for joining. This community is only as strong and is only as good as the people on this panel and all the other developers, because there is a ton of other people that are creating other stuff out there. And I want to thank everyone for their work, be it big or small.
A lot of fun, guys. Thank you.
Yep. Good time.
Thank you.
So,
Thanks.
hey,
Thank you,
thanks, because
everybody.
Streaming matters to us because streaming matters to you. And we'll see you guys on Wednesday, Mortal Kombat night.